Really knows that, because one of them asked, who sells the most, what location is selling?
Yes, yes, computer over there, don't you?
I didn't need a computer.
Yeah, we can always toss that computer.
Everybody knows about playing with dominoes, but what you may not know is that a domino can knock over another domino which is about 1.5 times larger. So what I have here is a chain of dominoes. Each one is 1.5 times larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes, and the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than 1 meter tall. Ready? Boom.
But he has his own way of finding out where the water is. First, he laboriously drills a hole in a giant ant heap when he is sure a baboon is watching him, because he knows baboons are incurably inquisitive. Next, he puts some wild melon seeds into the hole and works them in so that they drop into a hollow. Then he saunters off, knowing the baboon is burning with curiosity. The baboon doesn't trust that human being at all, so he plays it cool. But he's dying to know what gives in that confounded hole. Finally, Mr. Inquisitive can't take it any longer. He's got to know what's in there. He reaches in, grabs a fistful, and now his hand's too big to come out. If he had the sense to drop the seeds, he could free his hand.
Yes! Again! That's a 3! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Pentarak!
There it is. 3, baby, in 10 minutes.
Oh my God!
I'm sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice, as well as the image of myself, and I am going to upload it to YouTube, rip it from YouTube, and upload it again and again, until the original characteristics of both my voice and my image are destroyed. What you will see and hear then are the artifacts inherent in the video codec of both YouTube and the MP4 format I convert it to on my computer. I regard this activity not so much as a demonstration of a digital fact, but more as...
It's old reliable.
They give me a total picture of what's going on in the world.
It's the only show I make time for in the morning. If you watch, you know. Absolutely.
Where can you hear the best country music?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Buffalo, New York.
Phoenix, Arizona.
It's easier to agree on where to get it for less.
Walmart.
Like the self-titled release from John Barry. And Tanya Tucker's Soon.
What is peace to the people who work the land and die in wars? And it was learning a game that was played by us all who held the top of the hill. From the rest was called the king. And I can't believe it all was good for humankind. Is it peace to point the guns? Is it war to fire the guns? We would run with all our might, push the king off to take the hill, and to learn who is king and who makes the better serve. I can't believe it all was good for humankind. And I have to read the light or dream the
They struggle. They speak more English, especially when they're in school among their friends. The schools on the Navajo reservation, they teach the culture, the language, and also the general study, what the U.S. study they have, general study, like math, science, biology, PE.
I want to know whose beer this is right now.
It's my beer, Sergeant.
You put this beer here?
I certainly did, and I checked on it.
I wasn't gonna take it, sir.
Oh, bet.
No, really, look, it's still cold.
You're right. Now, what'd you do with my pretzels?
Well, don't just stand there. Find the General's pretzel.
Like you. Who in the hell ever said, I got to like you? What law is there to say, I got to like you? Do you want to stand up in my face and ask me some damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Straighten up, goddammit. Ask your question. What law is there to say, I got to like you?
None.
All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
Nigga, as long as you living in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
And clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that is?
Because of you.
Hell, I know it's because of me. Why do you think that is?
Because you like me.
Like
a way to eliminate all human qualities my speech and image might have. I'm sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. I'm recording the sound of my speaking voice, as well as the image of myself, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Rip it from YouTube and upload it again and again until the original characteristics of both my voice and my image are destroyed. What you will see and hear then are the artifacts inherent in the video codec of both YouTube and the MP4 format I converted to on my computer. I regard this activity not so much as a demonstration of a digital fact, but more as a way to...
Mi esposo siempre vigilará los intereses de todos los sectores de nuestra sociedad que necesitan la protección de un gobierno humanitario para el futuro de nuestros niños y para lograr un mundo donde exista la paz verdadera. Voten ustedes por el Partido Demócrata el día 8 de noviembre. Que viva Kennedy.
Now he lets go when it's too late. So that was a smart enough way to catch a baboon, but he still has to make him talk. Now he knows that salt is very scarce in this particular area, and that baboon is going to eat those lumps like candy. In fact, he has such a ball eating salt that he completely forgets he's under arrest, and that in a little while he's going to be a mighty thirsty baboon. Next morning, the Makhalahadi goes to have a closer look to see whether his prisoner is ready to talk.
Mi esposo siempre vigilará los intereses de todos los sectores de nuestra sociedad que necesitan la protección de un gobierno humanitario para el futuro de nuestros niños y para lograr un mundo donde exista la paz verdadera. Voten ustedes por el Partido Demócrata el día 8 de noviembre. Que viva Kennedy.
Springtime again.
sit on the curb. Sit down on the curb. I'm not gonna tell you again. Sit down on the curb.
And what are you doing? Don't be grabbing on me. I just asked you.
You're gonna get tased if you don't sit down.
I ain't did nothing to you.
Often something like this, a filler shot designed to give your eyes something to look at while my voice babbles on about facts. Sometimes it'll slow down to a halt, turn monochrome, and some of those facts will appear one by one on the screen. This is followed by the obligatory shots of overweight people with their faces subtly framed out, after which the report is padded out with a selection of lazy and pointless vox pops.
Usually get some inane chatter from people.
I think they do have too much. I think what we want to hear is actually what's happening and not what other people think of it.
I hate these sound bites. I don't want some punter's opinion usually. No.
Another bit of dull visual abstraction to plug another gap now before the report segues gracefully into a bit of human interest courtesy of...
In this time of the electronic tribe, the religion of our parents is outdated, as shown through testimony, the way in which we live by. Now I ask for us not to look into faith, but in the statistics of brethren, algorithms that the shoekeepers of the virtual reality create for us, ones that can target and disseminate all embalms that we are to ourselves. We are not special. You can see many of me. I am not the next door neighbor, but I am the neighbor 2,000 miles away. There are not any extraordinary circumstances. I say as a way to highlight the priorities of change, the cemented takeovers of a peoples with forms of deliberate manipulation. I speak, of course, of the virus that is the consumerist gluttony. It is one that travels in a space that can find pain and pervasive feelings of sin subdued in a public relation monster that travels beyond the original hands of the Creator. That is to say, more and more, the mediums that are presented to humanity through the trifle of knowledge have gained countless reflecting bonds in which we put ourselves in. No invention of medium had a bigger foothold in the flesh membrane that holds together the maddening separation that is the gases of elixir, that is the same permutations of.
Believing in, we are a part of a whole we call the earth.
Surprise.
Is this going on YouTube?
No.
Are you pregnant? Shut the fuck up! Are you pregnant?
Yes.
What?
Just see some of his movies? Stips. I'll tell you this. How this guy became president. When he was governor, I couldn't get in touch with him. I had a cousin, did 3 months in the county jail. I made a phone call. I said, give me a break. He was too busy, tied up, wouldn't make that. He's now doing 14 years, and he's the president of the United States, sitting in the White House with Nancy, walking around going, Ed Rickles' cousin is doing a lot of time. Good evening, Mr. President. Nice to see you, sir. And your lovely wife, Nancy. It's a big treat for me to fly all the way from California to be here for this kind of money. See, I still got the tuxedo marked down. Anyway.
Watch out for the shock, it's coming.
What did J. Edgar Hoover do? He gunned him down and brought down the threats of the state with a bullet. His mind swimming in the pockets of the bosses, topped off by the fuel of the Red Scare, continuing his crusade through that of the Coin and Tell program that destroyed organized communities, that sought autonomy to escape the very thing that found them and ultimately destroyed them, paranoia. All this while the rest of the world was rebuilding itself. The dominance of American manufacturing creation was waning. This gave chance and leadway for the rise of a B-movie actor turned business political pop Ronald Reagan to come into presidency. It is here where corporations now had a real foothold within the old Oval Office itself. It is in this era that any mention of the working class was wiped from political discourse, where the short-term economic boost gave way to what would come, private interest calling the shots. They might call him the everlasting conservative king. I will call him by what he is, the man who sold the public to the private, the man who traded away the last of the aspirations, dreams, hopes of a people for great approval ratings and an excellent public relations image.
Who killed Officer Ramp?
One of them cops, and that's why they want to cover it up. That's why they want to cover it. Under the Rizzo regime right then and there, ain't no way in the world he would admit that his hand-picked Gestapo had shot each other to death. But them frantic cops admitted that they were shooting off rounds all throughout there, all right? Gunfire was going off for 5-10 minutes, all right? One cop, he's now FOP president, Bob Hurst, he admitted that he looked through our window, saw a group of women and children. He said women and children, unarmed, and he emptied his damn carbine at them.
Delbert, Africa, yesterday told me that you had seen some women and children through the basement window and then emptied your carbine rifle through that window.
No, absolutely not. Delbert knows better than that. What I seen was Chucky Africa. Seen him clearly coming right up to the window. And I seen him with that Mini Ruger 223, and I said that. And that's what I seen. The only time I seen the women and children is at the time they were coming out of the window, when it was all over. I never seen the women and children in there. You could hear them.
You can't disco when Jack boots. Or on a white horse, he sing lame lyrics and try to reach a working man.
Hitting them on the head. Kicking them on the head. I have no idea. I just couldn't see.
Shut up!
Cops are making a mistake doing that, sweetheart.
Your ass, they are.
As far as Delbert, Africa, and the frustrations of those police officers, and having their leader come out there as defiant as he did, after having slaughtered our own people, and then expect a society to turn around where no emotion, you strip it, they're sterile, and you're not supposed to touch the guy. It's a wonder the man ever walked. How in God's name can anybody just say, well, treat him properly, forget it, emotions are free, don't do anything, pick up your dead, pick up all your wounded, walk away, everything's okay, he did his thing, but it's okay, you don't do your thing. Well, you can put a badge on all day long, but you still have a little blood pumping in you, you still have the emotion and the frustration of seeing your own people slaughtered, and then this thing comes out here like a milk-fed quarterback, and he wants to be a star? A star? I'd have buried him. I'd have buried him. He killed somebody who he couldn't carry his jockstrap. A 30-year Marine. 2 wars. All the blood and everything else that this man saved in the streets of Philadelphia, and that garbage, that trash, because he had a cause that he couldn't even spell, wants to just blow everybody away and come out and say, I got rights. Got rights? He's got to be mad. I know he's mad anyway.
It's old reliable.
They give me a total picture of what's going on in the world.
It's the only show I make time for in the morning. If you watch, you know. Absolutely.
It starts here with a lackluster establishing shot of a significant location. Next, a walkie-talkie preamble from the auteur, pacing steadily towards the lens, punctuating every other sentence with a hand gesture and ignoring all the pricks milling around him like he's gliding through the fucking Matrix, before coming to a halt and posing a question. What comes next?
I go out of here every morning and bust my butt putting up with them crackers all day long because I like you. You is the biggest fool I ever saw. It is my job. It is my responsibility. You understand that? A man got to take care of his family. You live in my house. You sleep your behind on my bedclothes. You put my food in your belly because you are my son. You are my flesh and blood, not because I like you. It is my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Wait now. Let's get this straight right now. We'll go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand, don't give me my money come payday because he liked me. He give me because he owe me. Now, I didn't give you everything I had to give you. I gave you your life. Your mama and me worked it out between us. And liking your black ass was not a part of the bargain, and don't you try and go through life worried if somebody like you or not. You best make sure that they are doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying, boy? Yes, sir. Then you get the hell out of my face and going down under A&P.
Surprise and subversion always needs to know what's there. If we seek to imagine types of consciousness that in some level engage in categories, the basic question of safe and not safe, it may get less instinctive and more critical. That's what happens when we become more nuanced. When what is out there is a question. When you think of your response of the world at large, at an individual level, if I am listening to music, eating food, meeting people, there is a spectrum that is complete love it, and the other end is hate it, the empirical knowledge. Fundamental, basic, binary categories, logos, logic, the nuances that we need is the ability to recognize, not the strictly category, but for what purpose and under whose watch will the categories of this thing engineer? How can it be used to artificially limit someone else's possibilities? Yes, language limits. Humans are limited. It is impossible to create something that is limitless as an individual. When you have a limited frame, you can create something that can be passed on, but that's culture. Intervening, saying this is passing on, posturing, is not your God-given right. It is embedded by someone saying that this shit is worth talking about. I'm not saying that posterity is the ultimate goal, but what I am arguing, that to imagine the space beyond categories, to me would only be useful if we first to create a space that will not hurt you. As we begin to think about genre category, if we take music, it all plays. When the DJ samples the Hollywood soundtracks, to changing the ringtone on your phone, that creates a possibility that someone can now key off of. There is no music genre that lives in a vacuum. It creates an opportunity to look back, see where that music is from, and to find that sort of space.
Knowing that in his condition,
the question ultimately becomes, what do you care about? What do you value? What are you basing that on? If you're basing it on the essence of something, odds are that it actually doesn't exist. That essence doesn't exist, and it's not universal, and it's not something everybody will pull from. You have people debating over the shared artistry. It's constantly a shifting target. An essence is something that has a set characteristic.
The Mahalahadi has no eyes for the beauty of the setting. To him, water is beautiful.
Really picked up and through here. And there's another one. That's number, you gotta be kidding me. Wow. You can have your $500 million jackpot in Powerball or whatever the heck it was, but I'll take this, baby. Four lightning strikes, 4 episodes of Thunder Snow. I could hear thunder, so we had another one. So we actually had 5 strikes, 5 thunder. I mean, this is just a total change. Literally within an hour. Was that another one? Was that? Oh my good, dude, that's number 6. You gotta be kidding me. Dude, I'm telling you, this is Chicago. Postel, this is Chicago all over again. We're just sitting in the middle of it.
Some dowdy man opening letters in a kitchen and explaining how he's been affected by the issue.
When I'm watching the news, I don't really, there's a person talking to me, telling me what's going on, and I don't really listen to what they're saying. It's just news. It's just news.
He, unfortunately, was boring, so to wake you up, this is an animated chart, this is a silhouette representing the average family, and this is a lighthouse keeper being beheaded by a laser beam. As we near the end of the report, illustrative shots of pedestrians and signs and a pipe at a window. And then the final summary, ending on a whimsical shot of something nearby, accompanied by a wry sign-off. If you're lucky, a bit of wordplay fit for a king, or in other words, a regent's treat. Charlie Brooker, Newswipe, London.